Hey guys, welcome back to Starcastic Remarks alongside myself here tonight. My name is Ryan Chambers. I am a part of the official Dallas Stars podcast at THPN. Please go and use that promo code THPN the next time you are there using the services for game time and, as always, for DraftKings Sportsbook. Dallas Stars get the win tonight over the New York Rangers by a final score of 5-4 in overtime, thanks to Jamie Benn. Thanks to Thomas Harley, Sam Steele. There's lots of players that are deserving of praise here tonight. But just to give you a quick rundown, the Stars deserved better than this in this game, in my personal opinion. I thought they were fantastic tonight. They were better than the score. And for once, goaltending kind of let us down a little bit, if you ask me. I don't want to say that the Dallas Stars were completely reliant upon, Jake Ottinger the last couple of weeks, especially with these low-scoring games. But, man, the Stars offense kind of bailed them out tonight. You kind of want at least one of those back in the first period. It was weird. It was very strange because we've had a lot of this season where they've just had bunches of goals. The Stars opponent has. And then it's just like, oh, well, that's the game. And I know it seems silly tonight, but there was just a feeling tonight that the Stars were going to be able to pull this off. And yes, maybe it was because it was the New York Rangers and they have absolutely just crapped the bed since November or whenever it was, since before then. I'm not quite sure, but it just felt like they were going to be able to do it tonight. The way they were playing in the first period, they were the dominant team. That's the scary thing. They were the dominant team in the first period. They had 19 shots and they only got 2 goals. But because Otter didn't save one of those 3, they go into the first intermission down 1 goal. So let's get into some of my notes over here because I got some good stuff here today. All right. Just highlighting off the game before the game actually starts. They're starting a 5-game road trip out east. This is probably the easiest of their games that I would argue. Johnston is on a 6-game point streak. He's got 10 points up to this point before tonight. Dallas has played the lowest amount of road games. They've only played 16 compared to everybody else. I think the next closest team had 17. And I actually didn't know this. I was actually very surprised to be told this. This is one of the stats that kind of throws you off. Miro, he is like an offensive juggernaut a little bit on the road. He's got 12 points in 16 games on the road this season. And that goes up again here today, I believe. And then they also highlight the Duchesne line with Ben and Johnston. Since those 3 guys have been unified, they have been very, very good. Ben, see the point? Was not trying to make a bad joke there, but truly they've been great. 19 points in the last 4 games going into tonight. And they also highlight that Jonathan Quick could be looking for his 400th win here tonight. Thank goodness that is not the case. Dallas Stars get the overtime win here tonight once again. It is a USA netminder battle tonight between Quick and Otter. The lineup is the exact same except for Smith. Dumba is out of the lineup. I didn't like Smith tonight. He had some turnovers, but again, it's not really all his fault. He just hasn't played very much in the last couple of weeks, but especially when you don't get a whole lot of time as the 7th defenseman, when you come in, you got to be good so that the coaching staff can trust you to put you back in. And we'll talk about why he's going to stay in the lineup anyways. But what I did put was Lundqvist does stay in the lineup, and I said that's got to feel good for him. That means he's in the top 4 at the very least, in my opinion. He's played excellent. He had some good opportunities here tonight. Offensively, he had a couple of miscues defensively, but he still had a lot of good plays defensively as well. Right off the bat, 1904, Johnston has a shot that is taken on Quick off of a turnover. Ben was battling in front of Quick. It was great. Exactly how you want to see the Stars start off. 1643, Nils has a shot that gets blocked. There's some nifty passing by Dallas there. I really wanted that shot to get through, but nonetheless, still a good play by the Stars. Robo would have a rebound chance on a loose puck, and Quick makes a great save. The original shot was actually blocked. Zibanejad, this is the first rush chance, and then they would score on the second rush chance. But regardless, Zibanejad would have a shot and a chance. And at 13-18, when they go to the first commercial break, the shots are 5-1 for Dallas. So sometimes shots are indicative of how the game is going, and sometimes not. More of the time it is. It was absolutely indicative of how the Stars were playing. They were the way better team. And against the flow of play, the Rangers get the first goal of the game. It's Lafreniere. He scores with a play off the rush. It beat Otter short side. And it was frustrating because that was really the second rush chance that the Rangers had in the first 7 minutes of the game. And Stars had numerous good chances and just didn't get it. It's 1-0. At the 11-minute mark, Robo and Hintz go on a 2-on-1, and I didn't particularly see it, but I just typed down what Razor said. He said Zibanejad saved a goal at least twice. So they go the opposite direction. A minute later, Trocheck scores, and it somehow makes his way in. And after that chance for Robo and Hintz, that's just a huge dagger. But at the same time, I was like, I like the way that they're playing, and as long as they continue the play, they'll get back in the game. Duchesne, of course, no big surprise. He has a good back check. Razor mentions, and then again, it's 3-0. Lafreniere with a breakaway. He scores 5-hole on Ottinger, and it was Brendan Smith and Labushkin, not the defensive pairing there, not paying attention behind them, and it's 3-0. And at this point, I'm like, huh? I was shocked. Honestly, it was so weird. It was 100% weird because of the way that the play was. Yeah, I mean, someone looking at the Game Center on the NHL app could be like, "Oh, well, the Stars are sucking it up," if they don't go and actually look at the shots on goal. But then you look at the shots on goal, and the Stars are like completely dominating it. I think they had 6 shots and 3 goals. The Rangers did at that point. It was something like that, insane. And yeah, it whatever. I was just like, okay, maybe looks like Dallas is going to have to bail out Ottinger tonight. And you kind of, I'm not saying they were like low quality chances, but normally Otter makes a save at least on one of those 3, and it's 2-0 instead of 3-0. But he has done it so much that it's time for the offense to bail out their goaltender. And they kind of do. Very soon afterwards, Duchesne scores unintentionally. It was basically a cross zone pass it was supposed to be for Ben backdoor, but it goes off of a New York Rangers stick and it goes in the net. We'll take it. So it's 3-1. At 6:25, Johnson has a shot, and 5:39, Dallas will go on the power play. This was a storyline tonight. The times they needed to get a goal from their power play, they got it. They got it when they needed to get a little bit closer and kind of make it a 1-goal game again, and then they got a goal, of course, to win the game. Stankoven would have a chance in the slot. It was denied, and then Dodonov would score. It was a simple goal. It wasn't anything. I don't want to say it was a greasy goal because they didn't have to work super hard for it because the rebound kind of came well for Dodonov, but he scores it, and he was just in the right spot at the right time, and Bork did what he was supposed to do. He threw it towards the net. It bounced around a little bit. It didn't make it towards the net, but Dodonov is there for the rebound, and he deposits it in the back of the net. 3-2 at the 4:04 mark, and I wrote down at this point, it looks like Otter's team may bail him out tonight. Seriously, what a response after going down 3-0. It was absolutely fantastic the way the Stars were able to do that. At 3:02, Niels would have another shot. So this is the second time in the first period where he would have a huge chance. And he's the trailer coming off a rush. And I wasn't quite sure. I think Quick got a piece of it, but it was a good rush chance for Niels. Oscar Back just continues to be impressive, especially on the defensive side of the puck. He makes a really good defensive play to break up a chance towards the end of the first period. So going into the first period, the score is 3-2. And I was just like, wow, what a period. It was definitely, it definitely kept your interest. I'll say that. I felt a whole lot better at the end of the period after the 2 goals for Dallas, obviously. But again, I was surprisingly calm when they went down 3-0. The other thing I should mention too is even if they lost this game tonight in overtime or even in regulation, I wouldn't have been all that mad because you kind of can't be when your team is on a 6-game point streak and they're 4-0-1 in their last 5 and they're on a 4-game winning streak, now 5. So I mean, you're not going to win every single game, and this is a game that I'm glad. Obviously, I'm glad we won, but I would not have been upset if we had lost it. All right, second period. Robo would have a post off the rush, and he nailed it. And it was right in the first minute of the second period, and I was just like, oh, dang, that could have been a huge momentum shift, especially early on. Harley dropped in the puck and went to the net and maybe served as a screen as well as he was going through the offensive zone. So Robo was also very good tonight. The Stars' best players are continuing to be the best players. And for the first time this season, I can say with pride that they are being consistent. That is very important. They were a little quiet last game, but they were still noticeable. They still had their chances. Tonight, our best players were our best players. Very nice. 1848 Dallas will go on the penalty kill at 85.4%. Dallas has the best penalty kill in the whole league. Credit to Aline Nazardine there. And I thought our power play was bad. New York at this point 1 for 30 at 3.3%. Ouch. 1733, Essa would have a good sweep stick check. Hudel would have a shot from the left faceoff circle, and that was really it. That was the only shot and the only real chance that they had during that power play. And it wasn't a huge chance for the Dallas Star or for the New York Rangers, but it was. I put maybe that save will boost Otter's confidence a little bit, and it kind of did, but not really. At 15:47, I just wrote down because the shots were just kind of lopsided. 19-11 in favor of Dallas at this point. And 4 minutes into the second, no shots in the second period, but they had 19 shots in the first period. 15-12, we did see Stankoven out there with both Robo and Rope. And man, Stankoven is so. And let's go ahead and talk about both the rookies here. Stankoven and Bork had a really good game tonight. Both of them. They are just so snake bit. It's gonna come. It is absolutely gonna come. I forget which goal it was on. It might have been the power play goal actually, but right before the power play goal, Stankoven had a huge chance, and I thought he was going to score there. Borg also had numerous chances tonight. I even put on Twitter/X tonight that I thought he was going to get the game winner. I truly believed it just because he was playing so well, had numerous chances. He was shooting the puck, and I honestly thought it was going to get it in there for him. Unfortunately, it's not. But that right there at least gives Stankoven some confidence from his head coach, Pete DeBoer, that, hey, you're doing the right things. Here's a reward for it. Maybe putting you on the top line can get you going. I really think that's what it is because Robo and Rope are on right now. So I'm kind of reading into it a little bit too much probably, but that's the way I view it. I think it was a reward for Stankoven and him trying to get encouraged by the coaching staff to say, hey, you're doing the right things. Let's get you a shift out there with the top line. Eerily quiet at MSG. It's 3-2. They're leading, and Madison Square Garden is quiet. That was weird. At 12:54, Lyubushkin fans on a clearing attempt, and he gets absolutely destroyed by number 39. I actually didn't get his name. I'll look on the rosters here in just a second. And I typed in, hopefully he's okay. And we know now that was not the case. He does not return to the game tonight. He was listed as doubtful to return. I'm a little bit worried about this one, to be completely honest with you, because in a 3-3 game, when you could have used a sixth defenseman, especially of Lyubushkin's caliber, he has been excellent for the Stars this year. That's a big hurt, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm hoping it's not a concussion-related issue. If it is, the Stars are going to be testing their defensive depth because not only is Lyubushkin possibly hurt, But also with the Texas Stars, Capobianco and Petrovic, they're two kind of veteran players down there with the Texas Stars are also out, I believe. I think Petro is out with a concussion, and Capobianco, I'm not sure what's going on with him, but that's it. We'll probably see Bishel, honestly, if you ask me. I would not be surprised to see tomorrow morning. Oh, actually, probably not tomorrow morning, if just for a cap move to save some room for the cap. But don't be surprised if on Thursday that we see Liam Bishel called back up to the Dallas Stars again, because unless Dumba is ready, I just don't. I don't like seeing Dumba and Smith together on a pairing or even on the same decor. That's just me. The last time we tried this, it was really bad. Hopefully he's okay, but my gut feeling is that he's not. Okay, moving on. At 11 minutes, only one Dallas shot on goal at this period. New York Rangers have 5. I didn't feel like that they had a huge amount of chances, the Rangers, but the Stars are getting outshot here. 10:08. I have to type this down every single time. Duchesne is seriously so much fun to watch in the offensive zone. He really is. It was a good shift by his line, but every time he has the puck, he is so creative with how he does things, and he just controls it so well. He's able to get around guys with his speed. He's able to stick handle through guys sometimes. He made a creative play off of the back of the goal, like the actual net, I guess I should say, for the Rangers, the actual New York Rangers net at some point in the game. He's just so much fun to watch. Dallas's zone entries and exits have been very smooth for the most part. There weren't very many chances that the Rangers could jump on. At 8:26, Nils, another shot. So we're starting to see that a little bit more. Maybe they're trying to encourage him to shoot a little bit more, the coaching staff is. And there was some really good movement in the New York Rangers zone on that particular shot by all players involved on that shift. Robo misses a chance to pass to Dodonov in the slot, and it was really funny. Dodonov just kind of turned around and looked and was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" It was kind of funny. Borg hits the post on a 2-on-1 rush chance, and I just said, man, he just can't buy one. 7:32, Jimmy Vesey with a weak backhand chance on the rebound. And then finally, they would get the game-tying goal. Robo, he scores he scores on the backhand. I put background on my notes. I don't know why. After going around the pile on the side of the net, it was a really great shot. It was a great shift by that top line. And that right there makes 16 points in the last 13 games for Robo. And Hintz had a chance just inside the left faceoff dot just before that goal. So Hintz getting in on that too. And, honestly, that probably pushed some of the pressure and some of the momentum for the Dallas Stars. And if you go and watch Robertson's celebration, which was very, I don't want to say Radulov-esque, but a hint of Radulov in that excitement. Just try and read his lips, and I'll give you a hint as to what he says, but I'm not going to repeat it here. At 6 minutes, Zibanejad with a breakaway, and my heart dropped into my stomach there when I was seeing that breakaway. I'm like, this is Zibanejad, and it's less than a minute after the game-tying goal. I'm like, please don't do it again. The Stars are fortunate. He doesn't even get a shot off. He lifts it high, and they haven't had a lot of bad turnovers up to that point in the game. The Stars hadn't, but wow, that's the wrong player to give it to. 4:45, Stankoven with another shot, with another chance. 4:22, Bork with a rebound chance, and then a wraparound attempt. That was probably the biggest high-danger scoring chance that he had other than his chance to hit the post. At 3:15, Razor makes the comment, Lyubushkin is not on the bench since he took that hit. We talked about that already, though. At 3:08, Miro has a chance off a broken play, and that was also off the rush. So I think it was blocked, and then he had a chance off the rebound. Lafreniere whiffs on a shot that could have been very dangerous as well. And then 15 seconds later, he takes some fancy moves to give himself a chance through the legs and tried to go backhand. Duchesne rush chance would miss the far post, and that would end the second period. What I loved about the first two periods is I noticed that all four forward lines, despite missing two top six forwards in Mason Marchment and Tyler Sagan, all four lines are spending time in the offensive zone. That is absolutely huge. And even if the bottom six don't contribute offensively, which you really need them to, especially on the road, just spending time in the offensive zone is good defense. It's away from Otter, especially with him having an off game today. And it builds momentum for your team as well. I mean, you can't say that, rolling four lines the way that he wants to, Pete DeBoer, isn't a good thing. And that was my biggest takeaway from that second period. All right, going into the third, they continue to mention Lyubushkin. He's still not on the bench. He would not return. He was doubtful to return. Benn, again, we'll talk about him at the end because I want to kind of save him for the end. But he has a shot off the rush. Technical difficulties for Victory Plus. I don't know how to take that, if I'm being totally honest. Razor just coming out and just flat out admitting it. I props to him for admitting it and just saying, hey, we got some technical difficulties. We'll figure it out. And they did. At 16:22, Brodzinski would have a tip off a point shot. And at this point, the shots are 32-16. Dallas are doubling up on the Rangers. However, there were points in this game when the Rangers were pressing. It wasn't very much, but they did have their moments. And the beginning of the third period was definitely one of those. At 15:41, Panarin would have a chance in the slot. And the puck just kind of sat there, like in the slot to almost inside the faceoff dot, the right faceoff dot to Otter's right. He left it there, and the defenders left it there. And I'm like, dude, why don't you go after that? And it allowed Panarin to get a chance. At 14:02, a robo redirect was just wide, and his head goes to the sky. So another chance for Robertson. He's been excellent very recently. I think he's finally starting to feel so much better after coming off that the offseason surgery. Trocheck with a tip goes just wide at 13:45. And it was a great pass by Lindgren there. And I was just like, dude, nobody wants to win this game. Two giant chances back to back within 20 seconds of each other, and neither team can convert. I put a Smith turnover at the 12-minute mark. I'm not sure if it was Brendan Smith there, but I think it was. Either way, the Stars do turn the puck over. It's an extended D-zone shift for the Dallas Stars for about a minute and a half. And Rangers are pressing. At 10:52, Otter makes a right shoulder save. Razor said that he was able to track it. I wasn't even sure if he ever saw that. And then Harley would take a delay of game penalty. Dallas goes on the penalty kill. And only two things happen. Hintz breaks up a really good centering pass. He makes a really good defensive play there. And then the Rangers go up 4-3. And this is where I actually thought, okay, we're not winning this game. Trocheck scores a power play goal with a tip and a redirect and a screen. It was super basic. It was just a point shot, dead center in the slot, up at the blue line. It gets through the first blocker up top, and it goes off of Trocheck and in. That's all it was. And for that one, Otter actually was tracking that puck. It redirected at the last second, so he just wasn't able to get it. And at this point, I'm just like, if you want to win this game, Dallas needs to go and spend some time in the Rangers zone, because for a majority of the third period up into that point, the first 13 minutes of the third, Dallas had not spent very much time in the Rangers zone. And they would do that. At 5:45, Miro has a chance, and there was a chance for someone else just before then. I didn't quite catch who it was, but back-to-back chances for the Stars. 5:13, Bork again, just a chance in the slot. And Quick had no idea where the rebound went. So he makes the initial save. It goes up in the air, and Quick is kind of searching for the puck all over the place. His head looks like a meerkat looking around for danger. Essa turns the puck over right in the slot at 4:40. That was very un-Essa-like there. At 2:59, Panarin would have a shot that he misses on a 3-on-2. That's another opportunity that Panarin, their best player, I would argue, kind of whiffs on and doesn't take advantage of. He had a chance at 15:41 and then another one at 2:59. I mean, one of those goes in and the game's 5-3 for the Rangers. And at that point, I really don't think the Stars would be coming back in that game. However, 20 seconds later, the Stars pull the reverse Rangers, just like Lafreniere did in the first period to the Stars. Harley does it to the Rangers. He scores after Steele feeds him the puck from the corner. It was, I know Harley is the one that gets the goal, and he's the one that deserves a lot of credit for the goal. Yeah, he's a great player. He needs to shoot the puck more. But man, Sam Steele, who was it? I forgot who put it in chat. Darren Smith. Steele definitely deserves a multi-year deal. He absolutely does. He has been playing everywhere from the second all the way down to the fourth line. He's been excellent. He has played some power play time with the Stars, struggling on the power play. He's one of the biggest reasons why the Stars penalty kill is so good. He deserves an extension, and I hope they take care of it. And he's one of those guys that you look at, and when you look at a really good team, he's the one that reminds you of like the Blake Colemans and like the Yanni Gourds of the world. Like when the Rangers had their back-to-back cup wins, I talked about so much about how good their third line was. And Blake Coleman and who was it? Goudreau, Barclay Goudreau, and Yanni Gourde. That third line for the Tampa Bay Lightning was so key for the Rangers in the Stanley Cup wins that they had. Steele is a very similar part if he can continue this up. Like he has been absolutely excellent. And a couple of icings at the end of the third period. And honestly, I think Dallas is just holding on for at least the point here. I was just like, please, 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 just get a point. At least get a point. And even if you lose in overtime, I will be happy. They would go to overtime, and they would be able to survive. Harley, just fantastic. He gets 2 goals in 2 games. Obviously, he gets the overtime winner in the last game at home, and he gets the game-tying goal here against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Dallas will go 4-on-3 early in the overtime period. Panarin would hook Johnston. And during the power play at first, I was like, they're just trying to be too cute with it. They just need to get some shots off. And boy, was I wrong. At 2:43, Jamie Benn, he would score the power play goal. It's just a simple redirect. He puts a stick on the ice, and Robo kind of feeds him the puck. It goes off his stick. It goes 5-hole on Jonathan Quick. Stars win the game 5-4. They get their first lead and only lead of the game, and they get the extra point here in the contest today. So, I'll eat my words a little bit. This team is starting to look like a contender again. And it was just the inconsistency was making me the emotional Stars fan that I am. I'm sorry. This is a fan podcast. I apologize. But, man, this feels so good. I mean, you absolutely have to feel good about where your team is as a fan right now and as a player, honestly. The only thing that did not go good for the Dallas Stars tonight was I don't even want to say the penalty kill because it was just a great play by the Rangers there to go up 4-3. But a little bit the penalty kill just because they gave up the goal. And then just Ottinger just not getting a save like you kind of want him to in the first period. That's it. I mean, it's opposite here tonight. Lately this season, it's been Ottinger who has been bailing out his teammates. And today it was the offense. The Stars get 5 goals in this game today. It's the first time this season where they've allowed 4 or more goals and have actually gotten the win. So that's huge. This team is showing that not only can they play without their 2 top 6 without 2 top 6 forwards, they can score 5 goals without those guys and be able to overcome adversity numerous times in this game. 3 times they were down. At one point, they were down 3 goals. They're not getting good goaltending. They can overcome that as well. This is fantastic. The Stars can win multiple different ways. They've shown this at least lately. and the close games because they hadn't been able to score. Now that scoring is starting to go. It's awesome. The defense has been good. This is a one-off, I believe, in my opinion. I don't even think the defense was honestly bad tonight. I think it was just you kind of want your defense is going to break down from time to time. And normally on one of those first 3 goals, Ottinger makes a save. He doesn't do it tonight, but that's okay. So just lots of positives here in the game tonight. Let me look at some of y'all's comments and we'll get through this and then we'll do biggest winner, biggest loser and call it a night. SDNGN13, long time no see. It's good to see you. Ben is on a tear. My man is back. I think that's 4 games in a row now with the goal for Jamie Benn, if I believe correctly. I'll have to go back and look at that stat, but I'm pretty sure that is accurate. Joe Baker, I need to start watching the game on time. Didn't start watching until about 5 seconds before Duchesne scored. So it's your fault, Joe. You have to watch every single game live. I know this is silly, but for a while when the Stars were losing some games at home that they shouldn't have been, they were losing the games that I was going to. And then the games that I wasn't going to, they were actually winning. So for a while, I thought, okay, maybe I just need to not show up to the games and they'll actually win. Superstition. But you know what? They were able to win with me in attendance. So that was nice. It made me realize it wasn't me that was making the Stars lose. Brandon, the Renaissance is alive and well. What was the real Renaissance 2 years ago? I think the real Renaissance was 2 years ago. But, ever since he's been put on that second line with Duchesne and with Johnston, he has been slick. Like, he has been amazing. And he's looked like old Jamie Benn. He really has. So I don't know how long he can keep this up, to be honest with you. He's very hot right now, but man, he has been excellent lately. Brandon, someone's please get Sam Steele a new contract. I think I already pulled that up, but I don't remember. But I'll say it again because he deserved it. Zachary saying Bork was so noticeable tonight. I'll say it one more time. Bork and Stankoven both are so snake bit. There's going to be one game where the Stars' best players are not going to be scoring, and both of those guys are going to score in the same game. I truly believe that. I think that's the only way that they're going to get over this. I really, truly believe that. Let's see. Scorer. Dang Stars making my high blood pressure medication work overtime. Great win. Yes. And one of the tweets I actually saw on X, I believe it might have been Sam on Twitter, statement win. That's all he tweeted. That this absolutely could be a statement win for the Dallas Stars. Brooke, were there 2 power play goals tonight? Yes. And that's one thing we need to make more mention of. The power play was huge for the Stars tonight. 2 for 2. It's still a little inconsistent. I shouldn't be. You know what? I'll take it back because I can't complain about it because 2 for 2. Consistency would be a little bit nicer, but the power play is the reason why they win the game tonight. It truly is because you go down 3-0. You get a goal from Duchesne. You get a goal to get you within 1 on the power play, and then you get the game-winning goal on the overtime power play goal. So that's probably the reason why we win tonight. Honestly, is the power play. And I mean, how many times have we been able to say that this year? Not many. Nate G, the Rangers stink though. Yeah, but again, I don't care. They get the 2 points. You have to play the team that's in front of you. I mean, get the 2 points, move on. And do you want to play better against better teams? Yeah. But the Stars have done that this year. That is one thing that has been weird. They have played really well against good teams and been able to win, especially when they've had a really bad game against a good team like Winnipeg, for example. They lost 4-0 earlier in the year, and then they come back and pull off a great win earlier at the end of November is when I believe it was. Let me pull this up one more time. Zachary, the Rangers are a shame considering the talent they have on their team. Dude, that one comment can be an entire podcast episode itself. It's just anything that could possibly go wrong for the Rangers has gone wrong. Like, I mean, Igor Shesterkin is hurt. Panarin has had 1 goal in his last 12 games. They traded Trouba away. They traded Capo Caco away. Nobody is scoring for them. They look like a team that doesn't want to play hockey. And this is a team like remember, this is the team that was like at the top of the Eastern Conference, what, 2 months ago? They started off something like 12-2-1 or somewhere around there. They had 12 wins and they had very minuscule amounts of losses. And now they're like the worst team in their division. That is just absolutely nuts to me. I can't believe that was the fact. Let's see. Monto and still undefeated in overtime. That's actually not true because we did lose to Minnesota in overtime. But yes, still the Stars are they haven't played much overtime this season. Lately, they've had to play a little bit more, but they've been successful in the overtime this year. So that is very good news. I know it has nothing to do with the playoffs, but it at least gives you a little bit, what's the right word? A little bit of pressure, a little bit of stress in a regular season game that can probably get you ready for the playoffs. That's something good to talk about there too. Okay. Let's see. Brooke, I'll give you the last comment here. Rangers were desperate, though. They were. And like I said, they had their moments where they were going through and they were really pressuring the Stars. They had their moments in the game where I was like, okay, Dallas, you need to get going. Like you kind of hung around a little bit. And if you keep playing like this, you're going to regret it and you're not going to even get a point out of this one. And they're a little bit fortunate in the fact that, Zibanejad had chances. Panarin had chances and didn't even get a shot off on his big chances. So they are fortunate in that aspect. But at the same time, the Rangers were desperate. They probably should have won this game because they just had a little bit of fortune in the first period. Okay. That's going to be – I'll give David one more. David on Facebook, awesome comeback. Let's not fall down 3-0 again. Yes, I agree. Let's not do that. Okay, biggest winner, biggest loser here tonight. The biggest loser for me, and I'm not going to give it to Ottinger. I should, but I'm not going to give it to him because he has bailed the Stars out too many times. So instead, I'm going to twist the biggest loser into something that hopefully will become a positive. Bork and Stankoven. They are just, how many times did I say Bork's name in the last 40 minutes in my notes? I can even just do this here. Let me look. How many times is Bork's name mentioned in my notes? 7 times. Like there are some players who are not even mentioned once, and Bork's name is mentioned 7 times in my notes tonight. So just fantastic. His game tonight. He will get rewarded. He will. He had a really hard time his first professional season in the AHL. Last year, he was fantastic in his second professional season. This year, maybe the pattern follows and he just has a rough year this year and he kind of learns the speed of the game and he gets up on his high horse next year. We could really use his help right now, but I'll give him biggest loser along with Stankoven just for not being able to bury their chances. They will at one point be able to do so. Biggest winner tonight. Man, there's so many players. I've kind of been singing the praises of Jamie Benn lately, and I really want to do it again, but I'm not going to just to give it to somebody different. I guess the right answer is Thomas Harley, isn't it? Yeah, Thomas Harley. His goal in the third period was huge. That allowed the Stars to get at least a point out of this, and allowed them to get the second point out of the game here tonight. So I'll give him the biggest winner. And I guess, and for a side tangent to that, Steele deserves the biggest winner a little bit too for his play. Without his play in forcing the turnover on Keandre Miller and then making the play to go from the corner to basically the slot for Harley to get the shot off. I mean, without Steele, that chance doesn't happen. That shot doesn't happen. So maybe Steele deserves the biggest winner tonight. There's so many you could choose from. Okay, guys, that's going to do it here for me tonight. I appreciate all of you guys follow along here with me this evening. I'm surprised I talked for 42 minutes, but there was so much to talk about, and it's fun to talk about this team once again. And they look good. They look good despite the amount of injuries they have, and despite the fact that there were a lot of players that had to play a lot of minutes, especially on the back end for the Stars. So expect to see Dumba back in the lineup for the game on Thursday. I would rather see Bischel, to be completely honest with you. Maybe he gets called up to play and Dumba is just there as the seventh defenseman. Just because, man, you don't want to call up Bischel and scratch him, right? If that makes any sense. Like, he needs to be playing. He needs to be developing, even if it's in at the the NHL level. So that's my expectation here in the next couple of days. We'll probably see it on Thursday so that the Stars save some cap space for the trade deadline. If they did it on Wednesday, they would lose at least a little bit of cap space. So that's going to do it for me. So thank you. Go and use the promo code THPN. Thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook and Game Time for being our sponsors. The Pick 6 option for DraftKings Sportsbook is the newest thing there. It's awesome. It's fantastic. I kind of steal Steve Dangle's thing a little bit and do a $2 Ryan every once in a while. But anyways, go and check that out. Starcasticremarks.com is the website. There will be a blog posting going live tomorrow. It'll be very interesting. You will want to see it. It is a follow-up to my Ryan O'Reilly blog post that I put up about why he would be a good fit. This next blog post is going to be about potential trade scenarios. Like, what do the Stars give up in return for Ryan O'Reilly? And I'd love to see your comments and your thoughts on that when that goes live tomorrow morning. So thank you again. Alongside nobody else tonight, my name's Ryan. This has been Starcastic Remarks. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hope you guys have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening. Whenever you guys are listening, Dallas Stars get the win tonight. Final score 5-4 in overtime over the Rangers. We will catch you guys later. And GG boys.